Yeah, as you guys know, this is Coaches versus Cancer, suits and sneakers, and just want to make a shout out to the organization and what they do, and hopefully we raise some money, passing the bucket around today, and it's something that I'm big into and really important. It's, the second leading killer of people. The first killer of people in the country. So just a shout out, and hopefully we can continue to raise money, and the coaches do their part. When it comes to the game, I thought for the first 15 minutes, I thought we played extremely well. We defended, we rebounded, we got out on the break, we pushed the ball, we got the ball inside, we were attacking, we were going downhill. Then they went to that little 1-2-2 zone, and that stopped us a little bit in the last 4 or 5 minutes of the first half. We did get a couple cutters to the high post, and then they came out and they went into it because of the two big guys got foul trouble, and they went small, which is smart. And then second half they did it again for a while, and we got a little bit stagnant. We got the ball to the high post, we were missing some shots, and then we had a hard time keeping them in front of us in the second half. Their two guards, Johnson and Medora are really good. They're small, but they're really good, and they score 38 of their 72 points. A hard time, but and then we made some uncharacteristic mistakes at the end of the game, missing some foul shots, making some bad decisions. But in the end, we won, and that's what this business is all about. But we got to get better. We can't make those mistakes in the second half, and we got a team down. We got to keep them down, and you got to make your foul shots. And we got a mature team, an older team, and that has to happen.
You mentioned the sort of defensive change that Fordham made late in the first half, in the second half as well. How much did that really affect what you guys were doing?
Well, it slowed us down a little bit. It's like a zone is, that's forces jump shots, and we didn't do a great job initially of running what we needed to run to get the ball to the high post. But I thought, we figured it out. Then they got out of it and went back to man. But you look at the second half, and we shoot 53%. 58%. So we shoot better in the second half than we did the first half. But it was our defense. Our defense. First half they shoot 42%. Second half they shoot 54%. And that's the difference. It's the offense. It's going to be there sometimes. It's not going to be there sometimes. It's the defense, and that's what. The last 15 minutes of the game, we were on our heels. They were attacking us, and we were going backwards. And as you guys know, nothing good is accomplished when you're running backwards. It means you're scared.
Mark, you bring up a good point. When you get a team down, you've got to keep them down.
Yeah, we gave them momentum.
How do you do that from here on out?
You guys you just got to keep. When you have a team down, you got to keep on playing. You can't relax and give them credit. They're a good team, well coached. Trey does a good job, and they kept on playing. So it's a learning experience. But when you have a team down, you can't let them up, and we let them up and gave them confidence. They got momentum, and it's hard. Once you give up the momentum, to get it back. And they're making plays. They made some big shots, tough shots. And then we go down and you miss, and then you're sitting down and guarding them again, and it's a mental test as well. But I thought ultimately, there was too much dribble penetration in the second half, and we got to get better at that.
Noel and Xander were really effective, inside the paint. 50 points in the paint for
you
guys of your 74. What'd you see from them?
Yeah, Noel, I'm old school. The ball, you win the game inside out. And Noel's done that for the most part the whole season. Now, Noel will attest that he needs to make those foul shots. But he's, when we need a basket going inside, something good is going to happen. And I was really proud of what Xander did. He's getting better, 5 for 5. And, he gave us a lift coming off the bench. It's not like we go to him, but, he's got offensive rebounds. He's got good hands. He has a good feel around the basket. So he was a big part of, especially in the first half, of what we did. And then when they go to the 1-2-2 zone, then, in a way, it takes the big guy out of it. You can't post up as much, and that's when you got to get the ball to the high post and make some shots, and we struggled with that.
Noel, in a game like this where a team chips away and really makes them uncomfortable in the end, What do you learn from these kind of games again? How do you build off that again to kill that, put them away thing?
I think from this game we just have to learn over the course we've had a few roster changes in the starting lineup due to injuries, and different groups have handled poise well, I believe, at the end of the games. I think this group specifically, though, when it comes down to certain things, we have to collectively just be grouped. We have to gel at a time like this. I think that's important for us to learn. When things are going boom, 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 we made some just errors on the court that not even coach can tell us not to make. It's more we have to be mature enough, especially me and Melvin as captains, to make sure that the game's going at the right pace. There's just certain things at the end of the game where okay, this is the score, this is the situation, we need to settle down, dial down. So if the play goes like this, then we need to do this. We should just have game plans for what happens in our head as players, especially as vets, near the end of the game. That's just something we got to do. You know what I'm saying? But I think having a game like this and thankfully coming out with a win, we're able to know that, okay, we don't want to jeopardize this next time, and going into situations, we need to be dialed in on this, this, and this, and this. So I think it was a great growing experience for some of the people too, like my guy Jonah.
Noel, what are you seeing from Xander, his growth and everything like that?
I'm seeing everything. I mean, you can quote me from the beginning of the year. I told him I believe in him. You know what I'm saying? I talked about the other two big guys on the team. I believe in them. I think he'll come to play later in the season, and he has. You know what I'm saying? For me, it's nothing unexpected from X. I think he's a great player. I think he has a bright future. I just want to stick with it, you know what I'm saying? However I can help him do that, you know what I'm saying? I want to do, be the best leader and role model I can for him. But I think the kid's fantastic. I mean, obviously, I'm always supporting and rooting in his corner. I think he's great. You know what I mean? Love him.
Mark, to hinge off that question about Xander, Xander and Noel Belonga, you got some contributions from them, especially in the first half. Why is them getting playing time maximizing now valuable as you enter the final 9 games?
Well, someone has to, we have injuries. We have, Jackson and Asante are out, so we need somebody coming off the bench. We can't just play with 5 guys, and, Noel and Melvin got in foul trouble. So we have to slide Jonah to the 1 and bring Noah in. So there's situations that they're gonna get called on. And as I say to them all the time, in Dwayne, you never know when your name's gonna get called, and you have to be prepared. And and we relied on both those guys today. Noah had a 3, he had 4 rebounds, and Xander, you think about 10 and 4 in 6 minutes. So they were productive, and that's what we need. They don't have to come in and get 25 and 20, but they got to be productive. And production is not always making shots, but today those guys, 2 guys stepped up and played the game the way we needed them to play in those 20 minutes that they played combined.
Coach, from a coach's perspective, with your captains on your left, how important is leadership in games like these? It's everything,
and that's why. As Noel spoke earlier, it's disappointing that we're in those situations and we didn't handle them the right way. And it's a learning experience, and I can guarantee you that Melvin will not go in there for that dunk, the rest of his life. All right, he'll pull that ball back, and get fouled. He won't, pass the ball up to Chance. At the end, he'll hold it because he's our best foul shooter. And those are things you learn, and you hope that they had learned it by now, but I guess they hadn't. But that's not going to happen again. And thankfully, we won. But those are things that we need to make sure we're covering. We can't make those errors.
Coach,
Agree?
Agree.
Melvin had 7 assists tonight.
Say it again?
Melvin had 7 assists
Yeah.
tonight. It's his 2nd game in a row where he's had big contributions in the assist category. What are you seeing with him?
Yeah, he's growing into the position. He's not, quote, a true point guard. He's more of a scoring point guard. But if someone told me, when DeSante went down, that Melvin would have games of 7 assists and 0 turnovers, I probably wouldn't have a house. All right? But he's really improved. And that position is really difficult. He's playing 40 minutes a game. He's, pressuring the ball. He's, handling the ball. He's running what we're trying to run. It's really difficult. And for him to be able to play the way he's playing is a credit to him.
And Melvin, what are you seeing out there on the court when getting those numbers?
Finding an open guy. They preach to me every day in practice about hitting Noel on a roll, so I can't miss the big guy.